Okay.
Yeah, so I know you said your company started in 2016 after you left your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we go further, so my viewers know me, so and they are meeting you for the first time. Please, if you can introduce yourself, please just tell them also the services that you offer, so that they know who you are and what you do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, my name is to the camera or just to you? So my full name is Subhashini, and I started this 9 years ago. Next month is 9 years, and my business is a mobile dog parlor. So we call it Sue's Mobile Pet Spa, and we go to people's house. Mobile says it all. We go to people's homes and we wash and shave and clip the dog's nails at their home.
Oh.
So it's a luxurious option and facility that we offer to people.
Yes.
And when I started 9 years ago, it was a booming industry, but now, in my opinion, it's just become so saturated.
Okay.
But it's still good because it's convenient, because life has become so fast paced now. So people don't have the time to take their dogs to the parlor or go back and fetch them, or sometimes it becomes very stressful for the fur babies and they do not want to stay there for long. They become anxious and they have anxiety and all of that. So a lot of people choose it for those options, and then some people are just too busy in life and they don't have the time to do it. So it's a convenient new age thing that people are
So but all I want to know is, so when you started it as a mobile setup, or how did you start?
So when I started, like I said, I quit my job in 2016 and I had nothing to go on. It was never even a thought of mine.
Yes.
And then I thought perhaps maybe I should just start my own business, because perhaps that was the way to go. And then I had to obviously isolate what I wanted to do. So I contemplated a car wash or something.
Yeah.
And then I said, maybe not. It's not the kind of thing a lady does.
Yeah.
So then I said, I'm passionate about animals, so let me do something in the animal on the animal line.
Yeah.
And so I thought, okay, dog parlor.
Yeah.
And everybody says location. So I thought, what about mobile?
Yes.
And so I phoned around in the area and asked a friend of mine, the company she was using. I asked him for advice, and he put me off it. He's like, no, don't do it. It's at the top of my head, I can think there's 13 companies already in the area. So I said, okay, fine. And then I found someone on Google, and they said, no, bring us a van. We'll modify the van for you and we'll set you up, obviously not for free,
yes,
but we'll help you modify the van. We'll help you buy the equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I started Googling the grooming courses, because obviously if I needed to be owning a parlor, I needed to know the ins and outs of it.
Yeah.
So fortunate for me, and because I started it with being unemployed, I was extremely cash strapped.
Yeah.
I mean, not even cash strapped is an understatement, because I quit my job with no backup plan. I quit my job with just that's it, like on a woman. So I had no savings, I had no forward thinking, nothing. So God is great, because when I was Googling grooming courses, all of them are quite far away, Vanderbilt Park and stuff, and often you need to stay over there because it's a whole month. So you stay over there because of to avoid traveling costs. Fortunately for me, I literally found one 3 k's away from home. So I was able to travel every day. So it's a 1-month grooming course. And then I had some funding and I started the business. And
you also had to pay for the course?
Absolutely.
For 5 days?
No, it was a whole month.
The whole month?
The course was a 1-month course.
Without a backup plan, without just not knowing how the future will look like, if it will work or not. As a lady. What?
On my own.
What? What a story, man.
Yeah, I just prayed about it. So even I say it's all God, because even my corporate colors, the choice of that blue has a very religious connotation to it as well.
Okay, no, we're going there now. So now, after completing the course, you now had to start it with the company registration.
I did company registration actually 3 years after I started. So I only registered the company in 2019.
Yeah.
But officially, our official date is 28th of June 2016.
Oh, so all along you ran the business at a personal level. It was nothing corporate, nothing commercial at that time.
It was out there. I just, like I said, because I'm a one-man band, I have no advice from anybody, so I just do things on my own. And Then like someone like, did you register your business? I'm like, register my business? Oh, okay, let me do that, you know. But I think it might have also been the bank involvement telling me you need to register the business. So I'm very naive. Maybe I can't remember the details now, Ishmael. Yeah, because I opened the bank account since. So what happened was when I needed the funding and I approached Standard Bank. Standard Bank was my bank. So when I approached Standard Bank, they said no, they're doing away with giving small businesses business loans because people were abusing that. So I said, but you sound so enthusiastic when you start your business, come back. So then I approached FNB and then they gave me the business.
The money.
Yeah, some of the money and stuff. So then I opened
FNB, man. FNB.
Yeah, no, well done to them.
Big up to you guys.
Yeah, and they've been my bank ever since. So I opened my bank account with them in 2016. Yeah.
And ever since?
Ever since, no problems. They treat me like a queen, absolutely.
Now you are a queen.
Thank you.
You are.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me the corporate color codings and the designs and so on.
Okay, so like I said, I had resigned my job in January with no backup plan, no plans of employment or anything. And the end of Jan, the beginning of Feb is a very big auspicious prayer in our Hindu calendar. It's actually an all-night prayer.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, if they have vows and wishes and they pray about it, and I specifically prayed that I wanted this business.
Yes.
And voila, and that prayer is synonymous with this color blue. So when I got it, it was obviously very emotional for me. And I said, oh no, my color has to be this blue. And I said to my graphic designer, match it up with orange.
Yes.
But the shades have to be, and he did a fantastic job.
No, he did.
Yeah, I love it. You see on the van, it looks really beautiful.
So when I made a U-turn next to
you saw the vans.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
so he did a fantastic, and it's like, I didn't even tell him. It's like as though he was reading my mind. And the dog on the van is actually, he was our real dog. He was our pet. His name is Caden.
Really?
Yeah, so he passed away in January 2022.
Wow.
He was 16 years and 2 months.
But the memories are still.
Oh, absolutely. We have endless videos of him and photos and antiques. He used to come here as well. Yeah, although this is a non-pet friendly complex, that's to sneak him in. Yeah, but he was the company's mascot.
Yeah. So you, since you offer a mobile service, you conduct your services from here?
No, not from here. So we've got the vans, and because we mobile, we go to people's homes.
Okay.
So we go to people's homes, and we can
so the whole van is your entire office? I
was going to get there, yes. Yeah. So the vans are equipped. Inside is a bathtub, a workstation. Yes. So we have a gas geyser. So what we do is we get to the clients' homes, we hook up to their garden tap, and electricity point outside in the garage or whatever, and then we do whatever. If it's a Maltese or something, the dog needs to be shaved, manicured in the face, whatever, nails clipped, ears cleaned.
So not any ladies do that type of activity, even dogs. I mean.
Oh, you'll be surprised. Now the latest trend that's hitting South Africa, and I don't think I'll catch on to that or want to do that, is they're doing hair dyes on dogs now. So that's but extreme.
It goes to that extreme.
Yeah, it goes to that extent.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very passionate for me. So I have 2 vans. I started with 1 van. I always knew I would get a second van because I saw the demand for it. Okay. And I always thought I wouldn't extend to more than that because I like to keep it personal, and like I know my clients like almost like their family, even when their dogs pass away, because since last year we've been seeing a lot of fur babies passing away.
Wow.
And it's because we're in the industry for 9-8 years, so they're getting old as well.
So they're at the end of their life.
Exactly.
Because they are sick.
No. Majority of them is because they've been old. You know, so I mean, you got to realize that reality. Like you doing it for so long, they're also getting old. You know, so it's sad. And what I have found is other parlors, unfortunately, there's a lot of new pop-up parlors. Like we found a huge influx after COVID. A lot of people that got retrenched and had their severance pays took that money and started new parlors, thinking, oh, this is a get rich quick scheme, and thought, okay, let's start a parlor because we see these vans all over the road. They must be doing something right.
Yes.
So the market became inundated with that, and a lot of them, as quick as they've opened, they've closed down. In fact, just last week I heard of one that was opened 5 years ago, and 5 years ago was COVID, has now gone bankrupt.
It's 2025.
Yeah, has gone bankrupt. And I saw the pricing and I realized that's why you've gone bankrupt. They undercut the market.
What?
That's the one challenge. And then the other challenge is that the richer parlors, I've got 2 vans, they've got 7, 12, 18 vans. How do you compete with that? How do you compete with that? I can't compete with that. So since 2 weeks ago, I've been just trying all different sorts of strategies of doing my marketing differently, and I'm trying to do my Google profile and stuff. So I'm trying, but I don't see myself striving to have more than 3 vans. Maybe 3 if it's God's will, but I'm not chasing it.
So you what you're saying to me now is that you're actually happy with the scale of the...
I'm happy. Look, the reason why I'm happy is because I'm quite strategic about it, because this is quite a seasonal business. In winter, it does dip. Because people have the notion that, it's cold, our dogs shouldn't be washed and it's too cold for them. But if you understand Johannesburg winters, we have very warm winters during the day. Just the mornings are quite crispy cold and the evenings. But people like their dogs clean. You want your dogs to sleep on the bed. So you do need your dogs to be clean, number one. Number two, the fur needs to be maintained, whether you like it or not. And then a lot of people also put a jersey on the dogs. And if you don't, for example, let's use a typical Maltese as an example. If you don't shave a Maltese and you put a jersey on for the Maltese, the sweat and the humidity of the jersey mats the coat and becomes very matted. And that affects the dog's blood flow and their health. So you're going to get, in the middle of July, someone that stops shaving their dog the end of May. Winter's coming, let me not shave the dog. And then you get one cold front in the second week of June. They put a jersey on and the cold front lasts 3 days. By July, they're like, my dog is so matted, I can't even get a brush through. They won't say that. They're just like, can you come groom my dog? And then we get there and the dog is so severely matted, we cannot salvage the coat. And when we tell them, you had a jersey on the dog, we're going to have to shave everything. And then you did the worst injustice, because now you're shaving everything off, whereas there's a thing called a winter shave. So it keeps it long enough for protection on a day that's not so cold, but it also allows the fur not to get matted should they need to wear a jersey. So people don't understand that. So there is always a dip in the winter. And the thing is, I pay my staff salaries. Other parlors pay, I'm not saying this and I cannot be quoted on it, but they pay their staff per day. So I find, and they have a high staff turnaround because staff don't feel secure in their jobs because of that. So for me to get a third van, I have to think long and hard of it, because what do you do on the days that you're quiet?
100%.
You can't pay someone a salary when you're not bringing in an income.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have to someone watching us, and they feel like, and they had the story that someone started in 2020 and they failed along the way? And apart from the market being saturated, do you think they also need to perhaps have enough knowledge?
Extremely so, because a lot of the times what happens with the newer parlors, and we know this, I'm not speaking from my speculation, because we have a national grooming group, and it's by the owners, and this is what we talk about. So the newer parlors, that's what they do. They start their parlors. The owners themselves do not have any knowledge, because it's not just the knowledge. Yes, you can have knowledge of dog breeds, but do you have the knowledge of how long it takes to shave a Maltese, or how long it takes to brush out a Husky? So you can, and I know this from personal stories, that parlor owner would say to the groomer, finish that dog in 30 minutes. And we know a dog like that would take at least 45 minutes to an hour.
But why would they give you time?
Because they obviously want to capitalize on the day and do more than...
Oh, do you guys charge per time spent?
No, we don't. It's per dog breed.
Not time spent.
No, never by time spent.
But why would they want you to...
So where you can, if you work at an hour a dog and you work 8 hours a day, you're only going to get in 8 dogs a day. But if you push your staff, you can get in as much as 20 dogs a day, which is overworked, and you're not getting the best quality out.
Yeah. I wanted to say that because, the moment you take a lot of orders, it means you will start to compromise on
exactly, and it's happening, but they do not care. So typically it's like, I don't know if I should say this, you got a parlor that's got many vans, right? It's like me. we're not perfect. At the end of the day, we're human.
Yeah, no, sure.
All of us are human, right? So and I always check in with my clients. How was the grooming? Like, what was the service like and stuff? And then we always get positive feedback. Once in a while, you'd get someone saying, "Oh, they didn't cut the dog's ears straight. One is skew." But clients also do not understand. It's not a human being sitting in a chair where you can say, "Don't move."
Yeah.
It's a dog.
So it's moving.
It's moving all the time.
The service.
Exactly, and it's a dog. It's moving. It's being triggered by a bird chirping. It's being triggered by a child playing the ball. It's being triggered by its owner's voice in the house. So to tell a dog, to make a dog sit still, eventually the dog's getting tired and might be snapping at you. So I as an owner, I take those kind of things quite seriously. So then I often tell them, listen, can we come tomorrow and I'll send another team, or I'll send the same team, and because that's quick. We're just going to go in there, put the dog's head straight and just finish it off. The dog forgot that we were doing a full hour-long grooming. So often they're like, yeah, or they're like, no, so it's fine. Next time we can get it right. Okay. So I take that very seriously. But now you've got like 12, 18 vans. How do you even know which dog you didn't do properly?
Yeah. So I just want to understand. So in terms of your staff, so you've got 2 vans. Chances are you've got 2 people working for you. Now, do you also take them through some training?
So my staff are fully qualified.
Okay.
Sorry. We actually have a chat every single morning. I always just pump up their confidence, tell them about the business, especially now with the market becoming the way it is. Just keep them in the loop. And I say, guys, the industry has become quite challenged. We have lost a lot of clients. Tell them that let's try to gain new clients and not lose clients. And by that I mean like poor service. And my staff I must say, I've been very blessed with staff. I guess because I take care of them as well.
You know, it comes from leadership.
Absolutely.
So they say that people don't leave jobs, they leave their bosses.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I'm very blessed in that regard. Like my one staff member has been with me since 2018.
Wow.
The other one's been with me since 2020, the COVID year.
No, you are not just a good boss, you are a good employer.
Thank you.
That must be said. It can go without being mentioned.
Thank you so much.
Because otherwise they would have left a long time ago.
I think so, because I see on the grooming group a lot of parlors, in fact the same culprits, always are looking for staff. So why? Because you're doing something wrong, you know. I'm not perfect, and my staff know, like if they do something wrong, they get they're not kids to be disciplined, but they know, like, okay guys, you messed up here, we can't keep doing this. So they know what I want from them, they know what to do, and I can't fault them in that regard. I can't say they have a donkey attitude, because I always tell them, you take care of the business will take care of you.
100%. The objectives are clear. You are also straightforward with them. They understand the mandate. So they follow suit.
Absolutely.
So it becomes therefore very easy for you guys to work together, and you both benefit from
absolutely that. So I fill them in on everything, and I always tell them, clients mustn't give you a hard time, because at the end of the day we all are human beings. Like, so if anyone gives you a hard time, you just let me know and I'll solve the problem. You mustn't be treated like you're nothing, because at the end of the day, if they shout at you and stuff, it's bad energies, and that the dogs feed off that.
So that's the types of challenges that you guys
sometimes
in your industry
sometimes that's the challenges they have. I don't have those kind of challenges, because I always tell them, you guys are my ears, my mouth, and my eyes, so you need to tell me. I don't know the challenges you have. So if you get to a client and a domestic is, because some domestics think they own the houses. So if a domestic is giving you a hard time and you don't tell me about that, I'm not going to know. So, but if you tell me, you know what, Sue, at that house, that domestic is very arrogant, she gives us a hard time, then I'll speak to the owner and say, listen, can you just tell so-and-so just to be a little bit nicer to my staff, because she does give them a bit of a...
That level of respect goes a long way, and it's 2 ways.
Absolutely. So even like, it's not just domestics. I had a client who, they said to me the husband's very rude to them, and then about where to park and stuff. So I asked the client directly, and I hoped in between the lines she could read what I was getting. And I'm like, my staff say you have a problem with where they park. Please can you tell us exactly where to park, so I can make them aware of it, and we'll never get it wrong again. So I say that, to them. So they must know that I know what you're doing to my staff.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Sure. So is it something now that has been changed, or do they continue? Do they give you now feedback based on the...
My staff don't even complain. They're good like that.
Oh.
I just find out by the way.
Is it?
Yeah. Seriously. And that's why I engage with my staff all the time, because they'll drop little hints. I'm like,
are they complacent? Are they now used to?
I think that's what it is.
Mm.
And I don't want them to be like that.
Yeah.
Really. It's like typically, yesterday I was sitting at the car wash with one of them, and she could have went back home, but she chose to stay with me. And as soon as the van was done, I said, come, I'll take you home. She's like, no, I'll take a walk. I'm like, you sat with me for nothing. She's like, yeah, just to give you company. And then we were talking, about which client, just general conversations. Yeah. And she's the one that's been with me the longest. And I was saying to her that, these two clients, one is nice, the other one, their mother and daughter. She says, no, the mother's also not nice. I'm like, what do you mean? She's nice to me. Yeah. Like, no, she's nice to you. She's not nice to us. Yeah. I said, why do you not tell me that? You must tell me. Not that I'm going to be ugly with the client, but it's just a point for me to remember. Yeah. It's just something that I need to, for whatever reason. Yes. How I use that info is my business. If I ever get to use that info, it's also my business. But it's just something I like to know, because sometimes I get impossible.
Push it to the next day.
I push it to the next day.
Yeah.
No, I'll only push if it's like we maxed out.
Yeah.
I'll never push. And my staff know, especially now, like that business is very quiet. In the mornings, especially like what has been happening is the last Friday of the month, which has been like month end, we've gotten very busy because people get paid and they want to groom their dogs. And I'll tell them, guys, so the whole week would be quiet. That Friday, we're like super busy. Yes. Then I'll tell them, guys, we are extremely busy today. Please come back home doing all those dogs. We need that money. Yes. And then they will.
Oh, so you also now have grown to understand your seasons, your peak time.
Yes. And they see it as well. So they're like, okay. So I tell them, guys, I paid your salary, now you're working for my salary. And it never was like that. I'm just picking it up now since February. That money is becoming very tight. Like
since February till now. So now the busy season again, it will be perhaps after winter.
It's going to pick up. But then also, I will have to see, because in my 9 years of being in the industry, it's the first time this has happened. But like I said, I have since last other week, I'm going to adopt some new methods of advertising. I'm going to do the Facebook ads, which I never did in the past. And I'm now creating a Google profile. So hopefully that also helps, Okay. So let's see. I don't know.
So someone yesterday, we had a conversation, and it's like, in my environment, we forever have to do research to understand where the customer is and their understanding, seasons, and so on, so that they are able to capitalize on it.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. So the thing is, like, I'm very strategic in that, and I know how to run my business, and I know how to book my clients, like, because when you said about parlor owners knowing, having the knowledge, absolutely, because it's not just about having the vans, it's also about route planning and make sure you're maximizing on the route, because petrol is also a huge expense on overhead on a business like that, because that's our biggest expense, I'd say. So you also need to know how to route plan, and that's very challenging. And it took a long time for my clients to understand that part of me, because if I get a client today who wants to book for 2 weeks from now, and then they're like, can you give me a time? Unless they tell me, listen, Sue, for whatever reason, it's 2 weeks from today, can I get the 8 o'clock because I'm leaving to Cape Town at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock flight and I cannot be. In that case, I will give them the 8 o'clock. But I'm saying, like, if they just say for no reason, like, can you give me the time? Then I'm like, give me your full day availability. So then let me give it to them. And then they understand. So now a lot of clients understand the way I run my business, and they'll tell me, so can you book the dogs for then? Then I say yes. And when you're done your planning, can you give us the time?
100%. So it's yourself now as an entrepreneur doing the planning.
I do everything myself.
You are an accountant.
I just send my bank statements, but like little stuff of what clients owe me and stuff, I do that by myself.
What? So if you compare to the time you were doing a 9-to-5 job, and now when are you busy the most? Is it now or then?
Then.
You were busy then. Or you've got a little bit of freedom now?
A lot of freedom.
What?
Because I'm doing this for 9 years. So there was a time in my business where I was very busy and I couldn't find the rhythm on how to plan my work schedule. And also, there was a time I had a walk-in parlor, but I've closed that down. I bought it in the year of COVID. It was already a dying business. I bought it and I closed it down because it was losing more clients. So I couldn't find a routine. But now, like, I plan for the whole year. So I have regular clients that do their dogs every month. Those clients' appointments are sent to them at the beginning of the year for the whole year. So it's in my diary for the whole year. So it's making my work a lot more easier. And then with regards to, I do admin every day. Like when the vans come in, I see who owes us money and stuff on a daily basis. So my work doesn't pile up. My busiest time with regards to admin is December, because then I'm planning for the new year. Then I work very hard. Then you mustn't come disturb me.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So, but now, would you, if someone was to offer you an opportunity in a night?
No.
Why?
Because
once you cross over, you never going back.
Never. I think also for me, my work experience has never been jobs with companies where I could say, oh, I loved working for that company. It was always a challenge. Bosses were challenging and giving you time off and stuff was a challenge. So I can't say, yeah, I had a great boss there, so I'd love to work for them again. No, I have such freedom.
The
and
benefits here are bigger
and it's challenging to see whether you're making your money every month to pay yourself and pay your staff and stuff, but the benefits outweigh that, and I'm a firm believer in God will carry me through. When He brought me this far. Crazy,
I
right?
I hear you. So if someone is to say, Sue, I need some sort of a training to be able to do a similar business or something related, would you offer such type of training to a person?
Absolutely. Look, I can't. It's like 9 years ago when I approached that gentleman. He said, "Oh, don't do it because it's so saturated." 9 years ago, and I didn't listen to him, and I did it. I wouldn't be where I am today. So,
had you taken his advice of not doing
correct. So, if someone comes to me, I'm not going to put them off and say, "Don't do it." I'm going to guide you and give you the advice. But what you do with that?
I mean, it comes from you. You have to make a decision.
Absolutely. So I can give you the advice, but you can still mess it up and not listen to me, or listen to me and still not just do that, because maybe your tone of speaking to clients doesn't win your clients. It could be so many things that you're doing wrong, and I don't know why you fail, but I gave you all the advice from genuinely good advice. I didn't hold back on anything. I wasn't spiteful, but you just messed it up for whatever reason. So I'm not going to hold back on that. And we have a thing. We always say in the grooming industry, there's enough of dogs for everybody. So why would I stop someone, But
do you think that person perhaps saw you as a threat or as a competition in the business?
That person, absolutely. Not a threat, not a competition, but potential rivalry, because now there's one more in the industry. He didn't see me as anything, because I could have started and I could have closed down in 6 months, but a potential rivalry, Yeah.
So, but it sounds like it takes a lot of passion to be able to do this.
And that's the thing, because a lot of the newer parlors, they don't do it for the passion, they do it for the money. And that's sad, because like I can gauge, because a lot of my bookings aren't done from phone calls, it's done from WhatsApp chats.
Is it via WhatsApp?
Majority of it.
So, but is it based on the list of existing customers?
Not even it's brand new.
Is it?
Yeah.
So when do they get to know of you?
They don't, like, it's solely on WhatsApp. So sometimes they'll call and then they're like, they'll get a price or an availability. So I'll say, okay, what dog, where do you live, when are you available, or how soon do you want it. Then once I've narrowed that down, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to send you a WhatsApp as soon as we drop this call. Then straight away, and then it carries on WhatsApp. So a lot of times, and I must say, I can't even say I get 10 calls a week, because it's mostly on WhatsApp. And the thing is that a lot of people speak to me only on WhatsApp, but the love I get from my clients, because I'm passionate about it, and they can feel that love, So I'm proud of what I do, and I'll never change the way I do things.
So let me talk to the viewer somewhere sitting at home. If you are watching us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. I'm sitting with Sue, an expert in the field of dog parlor.
Maximizing on the route, because petrol is also a huge expense on overhead on a business like that, because that's our biggest expense, I'd say. So you also need to know how to route plan, and that's very challenging. And it took a long time for my clients to understand that part of me, because maximizing on the route, because petrol is also a huge expense on overhead on a business like that, because that's our biggest expense, I'd say. So you also need to know how to route plan, and that's very challenging. And it took a long time for my clients to understand that part of me, because if I get a client today who wants to book for 2 weeks from now, and then they're like, can you give me a time? Then I'll tell them, I'm not going to give you a time, because I need to route plan, and my day is not full up for 2 weeks from today on a Thursday. I need to see where I'm going. I can't commit to the 8 o'clock appointment and then find that en route I could have done, or not even look, unless they tell me, listen, Sue, for whatever reason, it's 2 weeks from today, can I get the 8 o'clock because I'm leaving to Cape Town at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock flight, and I cannot be. In that case, I will give them the 8 o'clock. But I'm saying, if they just say for no reason, can you give me the time? Then I'm like, give me your full day availability. If you're at home the whole day, I'm not going to give you the 8 o'clock. Because there might be someone else that has to do the dogs before they go to work, perhaps. So then let me give it to them. And then they understand. So now a lot of clients understand the way I run my business, and they'll tell me, so can you book the dogs for them? Then I say, yes. And when you're done your planning, can you give us the time?
100%. So it's yourself now as an entrepreneur doing the planning.
I do everything myself.
You're an accountant, you're HR, you're everything.
Okay, I do have a bookkeeper, but I just send my bank statements. But little stuff, what clients owe me and stuff, I do that by myself,
What? So if you compare to the time you were doing a 9 to 5 job, and now when are you busy the most? Is it now or then?
Then.
You were busy then. Or you've got a little bit of freedom now?
A lot of freedom.
What?
Because I'm doing this for 9 years. So there was a time in my business where I was very busy and I couldn't find the rhythm on how to plan my work schedule. And also there was a time I had a walk-in parlor, but I've closed that down. I bought it in the year of COVID. It was already a dying business. I bought it and I closed it down because it was losing more clients. So I couldn't find a routine. But now, I plan for the whole year. So I have regular clients that do their dogs every month. Those clients' appointments are sent to them and say, okay, we missed this client for their first power outage. We need to get to them. And then they would do it as long as they did the client. Very challenging, but then was when I was working even harder.
but customers then did understand as well that
they did.
These are environmental factors.
They did, and they were very cooperative of it. The only frustration I had is that then I would, everyone has the ESCOM app on their phones. I would have, I had about 36 suburbs. Where you have one or two, I had 36. Because sometimes, over there, they could be in a different grid as to me. Although it's literally the same area.
So the updates are not happening nationally on one app. So you have multiple apps and
no, it's one app. It's one app, but you have many suburbs because what happens is so what I would do is I'd literally sit with the radio on, because at the 4 o'clock news or 6 o'clock news they'll tell you what the stage load shedding is, right? And then you hope that when you wake up in the morning it's not changing, because sometimes it does change, right? So then you do clients, you tell them, can I have your load shedding schedule so I can plan my routes? And then a lot of them would not give it to you. And then that's when I would start downloading or picking up their suburbs so I could do the planning without them having to give me the info. So then you do the planning, and then in the morning you get up and you listen to the 6 o'clock news and they say ESCOM's changed load shedding.
From stage 1 to stage 5 now. Sure.
Those were my very challenging days.
But so this is the type of information one wouldn't tell you when you want to start a business.
So a lot of parlors that had the money or chose to do it, they would So it's the kind of industry you cannot put solar power on our vans. They invested in generators. I didn't because I don't like making things challenging for my staff. I like to make work very easy for them. So with the idea of a generator, firstly, I presume those that had generators were, because you see, I've got a van. There are other companies that have a trailer and a vehicle that pulls the trailer. So I presume that those that decided to go the generator route were companies that had a trailer, because then they would keep the generator in the main vehicle. So with me, our vans inside are quite small. You cannot fit a generator in there. And that's one. Two, then you've got my staff needing to have to work with diesel or petrol or whatever to fill a generator, and it's mobile. I don't like that.
This is now
It's
additional training. Now,
and danger.
Additional risks.
Yeah, right. And then three, a generator is very loud, so dogs get nervous about that. So I chose not to do that. So I guess for me, I was one of the pilots that worked harder for load shedding because I didn't put a generator in, but others did. Because now with the generator also comes additional costs. Because now you're paying for petrol, and petrol is also expensive, or diesel, or whatever.
No, but what you just explained now is that then with a generator, you are able to sort the operational issues. But now you're introducing a new risk now, which is noise to the dog.
Noise to the dog, danger to your staff, additional costs of buying diesel and petrol or whatever it is.
And people overlook such things.
Absolutely.
Up until something happens.
Absolutely. Fortunately, we've never had any incidences, and thank God, I hope it never happens. But the risk is there. The risk is there,
But what other risks are there in this type of business?
Look, there's always a risk of injuring a dog and stuff, but that's going to happen. The biggest risk is getting bitten by a dog.
What?
It has happened. Groomers getting bitten by pit bulls and stuff.
What?
Yeah. So we have insurances that cover things like that, public liability and all of that.
Yes.
Because my thing is like, let's say for example, and this usually happens in December. We won't get it like the rest of the year. The rest of the year we're very full. We'll just move it to the next day, which is fine, right? But I find that if December now, but the next day we're coming back to it, and I have that. The thing is like, this grooming WhatsApp group that we created now, it wasn't always there. It came up now in the last share, but in the past we will never give to our competitors. Now we do. And you can see these are people that are passionate about it. Because at the end of the day, it's not about I lost a sale, it's about a dog getting done for Christmas.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's very challenging, and I'm learning a lot of things. And I thought incidents like getting bitten by a dog and stuff like that don't happen. But I mean, as you explain, I'm like,
I have got more scars
what
on my body from grooming than before I ever became a groomer.
What?
I promise you. Like,
so this is not an easy thing.
No.
Sure. So from a distance, one will think this is,
No, we get bitten by dogs. Bitten. Yeah, my hand went into the mouth and she ripped. So here's the top jaw and here's the bottom jaw. So my hand got ripped. But so it's not sometimes just a little nip, like not necessarily a full-on bite.
Sure. So is it normally dogs that you meeting them for the first time?
No. No.
So it's just that some dogs are aggressive by nature.
Yeah, they are. So like we specifically have one client, his dog's challenging. So I specifically just send my one groomer to him because that the dog understands him and he understands the dog. I won't send anyone else. So then we learn these sorts of things.
Like now, if I would say that this is what I want to do myself, I mean, I wouldn't think of that until it happens.
So just yesterday my staff, and remember I said to my staff, do not tell me things. They do not tell me things. I have to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
So we were talking about our clients, and then yesterday she says to me that we have a client that we do regularly, every week. And then she said that one of the dogs at this house is the newer of the two dogs. It's becoming quite challenging. So I said, okay, challenging. She said, no, he bites. I said, okay. Then I said, did you tell the owner? She said, no, I didn't. So I said, is he still biting? She says, no, now what I do, I just put a muzzle on for him. So muzzle is the whole, how's he with the muzzle? Or she's no, he's very calm and he sits very quiet. So I said, okay, then carry on doing that for you. I don't want you to get bitten again.
Yeah.
But the biting is a big threat.
Mm.
And so we do, going back on that, so sometimes we will get clients who will tell us the dog is aggressive.
Mm.
We will get that up front.
So when you go there, do you go there with that mind, or do you have to develop some techniques?
No. So when that ever happens, so sometimes the clients do not know their dogs are challenging.
Okay.
We find out together,
yes.
right?
Mm.
But where the clients up front, because they know their dog is challenging or their dog's aggressive, then and they say, listen, can we come for grooming, but our dog is challenging, or our dog is a biter, or our dog is very possessive of my wife and no one must go near my wife or whatever. Then in that regard, I do not tell my staff, because I don't want them to go with, this dog is going to bite me, this dog's going to bite me. We do not want that, because dogs feed off energies. So what we do is, I always book the client for 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I accompany my staff. And then I assess, because remember, I'm also a groomer, and the reason I do that is because if I'm there as the owner, I can tell a client, this dog is too aggressive for us, we're not going to groom. But my staff wouldn't do it. They will still try to finish the whole job, thinking that we need to do it. But me being who I am, and also the way I tell it, and I say, listen, dog is very challenging, but what I recommend is that we do not groom today.
Oh, you come back.
We'll come back. Take the dog to a vet.
Yeah.
Tell the vet that the dog is aggressive and you want to get the dog groomed. Can he give you meds to calm the dog down? So you weigh the dog and he'll check the dog's temperament and he'll say, okay, give the dog this.
That's some wisdom in there.
Yeah. And then further to that, I also tell them that when the vet gives you the meds, get 2 doses. So if the doctor says take 1 tablet, get 2. And then what you do is the first tablet, on a day that you are at home, administer the tablet and check, 1, how long it takes to kick in, how long it takes to stay in the dog's system, and what reaction the dog has. Because sometimes a dog can go berserk, they can go even crazier, or they just extremely drowsy. So those are the things. So then, because there's no point in saying, the vet has given me a tablet, the dog's going to be fine. But we get in the dog's even more aggressive, or the dog is totally out of it and can't even stand up or something. So we need to know this. I always say, get 2 doses, and the 1 dose is for you to check how long before. Because sometimes, like just Friday, what's today? Friday, we had a client where she said, let me know what's coming because I need to give the dog meds. I said, how long does it take to kick in? She said 2 hours. I said, okay, we will come to you at 8. So give the dog the tablet between 6 and 6:30. She said 1.5 to 2 hours. So if sometimes they say 30 minutes, then I say, okay, we're going to be there at 8, give the dog at 7:30. So it's different meds, it's different dogs. So then I always say, get 2 doses. If it's a brand new experience. If they know about their dog and that kind, then she knows.
So it takes a lot of knowledge and technicalities to do this. It's not a child's play. It's not a job you would just call anyone from the street.
It shouldn't be, but it's happening.
So
it shouldn't be, but it's happening. Because like I said, you got a lot of people that have money to throw away. They're like, let's start a parlor, and then they just, can we find a groomer? And then some groomer's going to come there and lie and say, I work for Sue's Mobile Pet Spa or whatever. And then they're like, did this person work for you? I'm like, no, they didn't. I don't even know who that person is. You know? So it happens. I suppose it happens in any industry, but it happens. And it's for that owner to do the background checks and
for sure.
To call for references and stuff. If you choose not to do that, then you stand the risk of doing serious damage. And you must know, if you, God forbid, if you were to kill a dog from grooming, your business, if I was that owner, I would shut down your business.
Sure.
I would instantly shut down your business. So you got to think ahead of these things, and you got to think ahead about what do you do if a dog, you cut a dog and it's bleeding so badly.
Sure. That's also a risk as well.
It's huge. So how we tackle is that we're very upfront. I tell my staff, you tell the client and you call me immediately. I don't want that the client must come up from work
they find out.
That's going to irritate them. You'd rather be up and say, listen,
this is what happened. I fully agree with that approach.
And that's why I think clients appreciate. We have had dogs injured on our watch, not on purpose because they pulled their leg or whatever. They still are our clients. Because of the way we handle it.
No, sure.
We offer to pay the vet bills.
Incident management.
Absolutely. So even if we know we're gonna fall, let's say, listen, I believe so and so happened or that happened to the dog. Listen, if you feel that monitor it, if you feel by tomorrow it's not healing or it's looking worse, take the dog to the vet and we will pay the bill.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily say we've done it. I say if you think you came from grooming,
Yes.
the vet says it was a grooming incident, we'll pay for it. We've done so.
No, thank you so much. So I want us to walk around the vents.
Yeah.
Maybe you can grab a key for one.
Okay.
Let's reverse it and let's see.
Okay.
To my viewers, those of you guys that have got dogs, you see where to get a groomer for a service, a professional service. I mean, if you've been watching the entire video, you've heard how they actually get to interact with your dogs and give it the service that you need, you know. Just don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and in the comment section as well, put some comments. And then, yeah, thank you.
So this is our boy Caden. He died.
The one you used to have.
Yes, he died at 16 and 2 months.
At
16 years and 2 months, yeah.
What?
He's the man's touch. And then remember I said the color blue I chose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can... Yeah. Okay.
Go in.
So this is where it's treated and
Yeah,
then that's
so
it.
in here is the tub that we get the dogs washed. This tub comes down. This is a
that closes and
It's a
open.
workstation. There's also a workstation. Sorry, it doesn't smell nice. It kills dogs.
Nah, no worries.
And then basically, this is our plug points for our hair dryer. We shave the same shaves clippers that you use. We use the same thing.
Okay.
This is our gas geyser and our gas tank over there. So it's fully equipped.
So the water is warm.
Yes. So we connect our hose to the client's garden tap and instantly heats up.
Okay, okay.
You didn't.
Yeah, no, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is basically it. So products.
Okay. That you used to wash it and groom it.
Yeah. Yeah. More than one dog. We'll pull this table down.
Okay. Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
You've got enough capacity. No.
So to do a van setup like this is about careful. So to do a van setup like this is about 35,000.
35K.
35, yeah.
What?
Yeah. Without the canopy.
Without the canopy, just the entire
Just
setup.
the tub and
Yeah.
yeah. Without the canopy.
Sure. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. And with the
Okay. So this one. Sure, the entire setup, it's a massive investment.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not cheap.
I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think setting up a business, it's easy.
Look, that's why I can't. Obviously, those that have got the one company that has 18 vans, that one specifically, he does this. So for him, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's no labor cost. Well, not labor cost. He's built it into his business model because that's what he does. So he builds the vans and he has a parlor and he has a dog hotel. So he's got lots of money. And then the other gentleman that does in the industry, he's broken away from that guy. So when that guy has an overflow, then he does. So it's just two people that do it. And the pricing is pretty much the same. But yeah, this is what it costs because the aluminium and the stairs and the geyser and
it's
the
the
top,
entire modification.
the whole thing. Because this van I did in 29 when I started the business 2016. I just had steel tubes. It was rusting all the time. Stairs was breaking all the time.
Yeah.
And then in 2023, I redid the whole thing. They stripped everything.
Another money injection into it.
Yeah, it was about 35,000.
What?
So they cleaned, they stripped, the whole thing was naked inside, and they did all of this.
So this is the first investment.
This was my first baby.
Sure. And we thank God for the success. Eh?
Absolutely. I'm
I'm
very
telling
grateful.
you.
I have no regrets, and I would do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely no regrets. It's the best thing I could have ever done in my life.
Well, thank you so
And,
much. So this is the second van that
this is the second. So this one I
threw into the business.
Yeah, this one I bought, so it was already done.
Oh, it was already featured, not that good.
I bought it like that. I just changed the branding. It was a company that she was with She actually had it, so she sold me one, and that's another new brand new owner. And yeah, she's come back to me 18 months later.
18 months later.
So yeah, it's happened. So that's my second baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my viewers, if you guys are watching and you've got dogs, you want them groomed. If you have not groomed your dog before, you are not doing justice to it.
Absolutely. It's very important to get it done.
So actually, why must we groom dogs?
Because it's very, especially if you've got types of breeds like the Maltese, the white fluffy ones, or a Yorkie, or even a Husky, because you need to maintain their fur. So like a Maltese, for example, they get very matted, especially when they run in wet grass or they're outside, or dust, or the kids play with them, or the kids with sticky hands. So they get very matted, so that needs to be maintained and brushed out. Or sometimes it cannot be brushed out because it's so thick and hard. Then we as groomers, we will shave it out. But a Husky, for example, a Husky is not a South African dog. It comes from the northern hemisphere, and it's colder environments. So they shed all the time. So you need to brush them up, because otherwise they look very scraggy and very untidy. So it's purely for maintenance, especially when dogs get matted and stuff. Then the blood flow is not free flowing. It's very painful for the dog. So it's important. And
so there's a health benefit.
Absolutely. And when the nails get too long, that's also very soft for them. I mean, you imagine having long toenails and you're walking around, isn't it so?
Yeah, no,
it's the same thing with the dogs. And then also as a groomer, we from cleaning the ears, we can see if they've got ear mites. Sometimes we pick up that your dog has got a lump, which can be cancer. So you may play with your dog, but you're not feeling a lump here, which, because we're grooming and we're touching the whole body, we'll say, hey, did you know your dog's got a lump? You know, you take the dog to the vet, you realize, gosh, it's cancer. Or do you realize your dog's blood's coming out of wherever, or whatever. And we've had that.
So guys, you have heard for yourselves. If you are not grooming your dogs, you are not doing justice to them. So all I'm advising you guys to do is that you should contact Sue. You have seen the numbers on the van, and also at the bottom of the screen there will be there. The email will be there, WhatsApp number. So please do contact her. I mean, get the qualities from the service that she will offer you. So after the service, go to the comment section. Please give us some comments and stuff like that, so that we can be able to share the information with others that have not watched our videos, and we grow the business, we also grow the channel. Thank you so much. And final words that you want to say to anyone?
I want to thank Ishmael firstly and Christina, our camera woman. Thank you for taking your time out on Mother's Day to come do this for me. I really appreciate it, and I hope I get lots of positive feedback and build up my clientele as well, because I could definitely do with that. Like I said to you, that the clients become quite saturated.
You said from now you will be creating your Facebook page.
I've got a Facebook page.
It's there.
It's there. It's been
What's the name?
Sue's Mobile Baseball.
Okay.
And I'm on Instagram at Sue's Mobile Baseball.
Okay. TikTok?
I don't know.
Not TikTok
Not yet. I don't know.
You're not do TikTok as well.
I am. I don't know about that.
Okay.
But no, I'm going to do the Facebook, the paid for ads.
Okay. Okay.
So I think that's the way to go.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so
very much. Thank you, Ishmael.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much, Sue.
Take care. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Guys, before we go, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. See you again.